I was a Tesla intern in 2017, and I have a story to share with you that should give you confidence to buy and hold Tesla stock, even if the stock is plummeting. I was on the supercharging team up in Palo Alto, California, where their current engineering headquarters is. During the 5 months, they hosted an intern speaker series, which was every 4 to 5 weeks or so. And this was where a director would come and speak to all of us interns. I enjoyed learning from all of these talks, but there was one in particular that stood out to me. This guy was a director on the supply chain team, and he formerly worked at Apple for many years directly under Tim Cook when Steve Jobs was still alive and CEO. I knew from the beginning that this was going to be an interesting talk because of his energy, because I had researched Apple for many years prior, and I knew that Tim Cook was known for being a supply chain guru, which is why he eventually was able to rise to become CEO after Steve Jobs passed away. He said that he loved working at Apple. He thought it was very motivating to work on such a fantastically talented team. And when he made that transition, he knew that he was going to be working on supply chain for a much more complicated product. Of course, you can imagine a global supply chain at Apple would be extremely difficult to manage. But if you go to manufacturing a smartphone to a very complicated computer on wheels with so many different, thousands of different components, it becomes a way more difficult supply chain operation to manage. He also mentioned an interesting point, which is that Tesla improves their products as fast as they can. They don't wait for the next version of their product to implement a new change. So you can imagine how much more difficult and wonky the supply chain gets. If you're at Apple or most other companies, you're going to wait till the next version of the product to release a whole new series of changes. But at Tesla, if they recognize a way to improve the product, they're going to implement that change as fast as reasonably possible. And therefore, all of the service, all of the manufacturing, all of the supply chain from everything upstream has to change and be able to adapt on the fly. So of course, this was all fascinating to me. But the thing that resonated the most and allows me to have high confidence in buying and holding Tesla stock and options is his experience working with the Tesla team. And I thought it was particularly insightful because he could compare working at Tesla versus another fantastic, globally recognized brand and company in Apple. He went on to explain why he's willing to work such long hours. He compared it to playing on his high school football team. He said that every time you go out on the field and play a game, you're trying to challenge yourself. And it's a true competition. It's a battle. You may feel physically exhausted and give your best performance. You're trying to quickly make all the best decisions, adapt to changes on the fly, and you're going to be exhausted and you know it, but you still love to do it. And that passion is translatable to how he felt at Tesla. He said that he knows that when he wakes up, there's going to be many challenges and he's going to have to work ridiculously hard to make sure that all of these problems get solved. But fortunately, he's working alongside such intelligent and passionate and driven people. And there's no other company that I've found, other than Elon's other companies, that have the same combination of passion and intelligence. And this is Tesla's greatest advantage. This is why you should invest in the stock. And Tesla has hundreds of thousands of employees around the world working 24/7 to increase the value of what you own. Watch how Elon describes the Tesla team that you get the chance to invest in.
The top two most desired companies for engineers on Earth were SpaceX and Tesla. You know, at the end of the day, the competitiveness of any given company is a function of where are the most talented people interested in working. That is the team that's going to win. In fact, if I'd say this is generally the case. If you look at any given company and say, where are the most smartest, most driven people going to work, that company is going to win.
You can see and you can feel the collaboration that's happening and the pride that everyone has in working for Tesla.
It's only possible because of the incredible people here at Tesla. They are absolutely committed to the cause of sustainable energy, and that is why we can do what no other company.
Well, let me start off first by thanking everyone at Tesla for your incredible hard work. I mean, the Tesla team is an incredible team, great human beings. Anyway, some of the finest people in the world work at Tesla, designing and manufacturing our incredible products. So my thanks to you for everything you're doing. Well done.
And when you have access to that top talent, who's going to outcompete you? If you have a team of B players versus a team of A players, then who's going to win over time? The gap is going to become wider and wider. Your lead is going to improve more and more. And you're not getting the absolute A talent going to work for Ford or GM or Toyota or Volkswagen or any of these other smaller auto manufacturers. Tesla is the leading place to be. And you have the number one most capable, inspiring, intelligent, and honest and caring leader in the entire world in Elon Musk. So even when the stock is down, keep this in mind that every single day, the actual value of what you own is increasing because all of these hundreds of thousands of employees are doing their absolute best to increase the value of what you own. The stock is going to bounce up and down over many days, weeks, months, quarters, years. I have no idea what it's going to do during that time period. It's being led by the greatest entrepreneur in the world.
When I interview somebody, I really just ask them to tell me the story of their career and what are some of the tougher problems that they dealt with, how they dealt with those, and how they made decisions at key transition points. Many instances where a half-hour meeting, I was able to improve the financial outcome of the company by $100 million in a half-hour meeting. 2008 in particular was awful because we had the third launch failure in a row of our Falcon 1 vehicle at SpaceX, and the Tesla financing round that we were raising fell apart because the economy was going to tailspin, and it's pretty hard to raise money for a startup car company, late 2008 when GM and Chrysler are busy going bankrupt. Well, I seem to have a high innate drive, and that's been true even since I was a little kid. Really had a very strong drive. I wouldn't say I'm fearless. In fact, I think I feel fear quite strongly. But if what we're doing is what I'm doing is I think is important enough, then I just override the fear. What is education? Like, you're basically downloading data and algorithms into your brain. And it's actually amazingly bad in conventional education because it shouldn't be like this huge chore. Well, you have to innovate. You have to do different things. And there has to be a tight feedback loop on innovation. And one of the things I think that's advantageous the way the SpaceX operates is that the engineering team and the production team are in the same facility, and there is good communication back and forth. I mean, we're all going to die someday. And if you're going to pick some place to die, then why not Mars? Those guys are heroes of mine, so it's really tough. I wish they would come and visit and see the hardware that we're doing here. And I think that would change their mind.
They inspired you to do this, didn't they?
Yes.
And to see them casting stones in your direction.
It's difficult.
Also, get $500 off with the purchase of your next Tesla with my referral code in the description. Or if you want access to my Tesla valuation model, subscribe to me on X at RyanTanaka3. If you have any questions for me, write them in the comments and subscribe and follow if you like this video. Thanks for watching.